Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you checking in. So it is a beautiful day in central Indiana after a couple weeks of really crappy weather, a lot of snow, cold temperatures. We have a 50-degree day and it's beautiful outside, and man, I personally I'm having a really good day. I hope the rest of you guys are too. So I got into the shop this afternoon and I've been meaning to get started on this project. This is a 1977 Honda CT70 that I bought as a basket case. And my intentions were today to start filming this. But you know what? It's funny, things just kind of change sometimes. I picked up these bikes a couple days ago and posted a little video on them. And by the way, the Z50 that came with these is gone. You'll have to go over to Brian York's channel at Yorkie Moto Garage. Brian came by yesterday and picked up that Z50, the one that had that great big tire on the back. I keep teasing him about building a sand drag bike or a hill climber or something. So go over to Yorkie Moto Garage and give him a hard time. Tell him to build that Z50. But this SL70K1 has been just calling my name. I'm intrigued. If you didn't see the other video on this, the thing has been on fire, and it's burnt a little bit of stuff. But but the fact that it caught on fire tells me that it was probably running when it happened. So I'm wondering what it's going to take to get this thing back up and running. So I think that's what we're going to do today. So give me a few minutes. I'm going to shut you down. I'm going to clean this table off, and we're going to put this SL70 up there. All right, so I know nothing about this bike. If you didn't see the video from a couple days ago, I have a friend of mine who's a bike flipper. He buys and sells bikes. Whenever he runs across the little Hondas, he usually gives me, texts me or calls me. And he did that on Sunday. And I came over to the shop and met him and bought two SL70s, a ST90 and a little Z50. Like I said, the Z50's gone, but literally, he doesn't know anything either. He got all the bikes from one guy. Same fella had all of them. And obviously this one's been on fire. We don't know how long ago that was or anything like. I got really no information on this. So it looks like most of the heat was up under here. So I'm wondering if something in the coil or something, it looks like it really concentrated right here around the key switch. That's we're looking at the back of the key switch right there. And if you the key turns, but there's absolutely no, it just turns freely, like there's no tumbler action to it. So I think to get to some of this, I think what I'm going to do is shut you guys down, and we're going to pull the seat and pull the tank, pull the side cases, and so that we can get to the electrical and see what's going on. And pulling the seat is just a matter of loosening the top shock bolts. The seat should pull back, and then we can get to the tank, which hopefully still has a rubber strap that holds the tank in. Pull it back, the tank will come up and slide back. And then these I want to take, even though this one's broke, they just pop in. Yeah, I would take my time with both hands and try and get those off. So I'm going to get the seat, the tank, and the side cases off. I'll bring you right back. Now that we've got the tank off of it, we can see a little bit more of the extent of the damage. And I'm to tell you, when something burns and that soot, this is going to be a dirty job working on this thing. But the coil is gone. There's not even a plug wire hooked to it. And I told you that the key switch didn't seem to have any tumbler action. That's because the key it has actually separated. This is the back of the key switch. Here. There it is. So the key switch is completely disintegrated. Off camera, after I took the tank and seat off of this one, I took the tank and seat off the red one, and fortunately, it has, I think, I'm hoping that it is a good coil, and the carburetor, even though it looks a little dirty, the float wasn't stuck. I could shake it and hear it. So I'm hoping that we're going to get all this off of here, see what kind of damage we have to the wiring coming up out of the stator, and hook just a wire straight from the stator to the coil and see if we can get it to fire. But I'm going to take a few minutes, and the coil comes off with a couple bolts underneath, bolts to these posts up here. So I'm going to take it off. I'm going to take the carburetor off. Since that one has an intake, we may just take it off completely at the intake, get rid of that, and then I'll bring you back when we go. I may take the chain guard off, because I think you got to get the chain guard off of these to get the stator cover off, but I may do that. So anyway, when you come back, the carburetor will be gone, coil will be gone. I'll kind of try and get rid of some of this burn up mess. Before I get too deep into this, I've got the carb off. I've got some of the electrical up here cleaned away. I haven't taken the side case off yet, but I thought, you know what, we better see if the engine even has any kind of compression or anything. It did not have a spark plug in it when I got it. Yeah, I don't think the engine was hurt. I think, I don't know if they laid it down and some gas spilled. The seat had a little bit of damage. You can see the damage here where obviously gas has spilled onto the seat and got hot. So I'm not sure what exactly has happened here, but definitely the heat was right here. So I'm wondering if something electrically, either they downed it and something got crossed up, you know, had a short or something and some fuel, and boom, you know, away it went. The other thing I was going to show you was, you know, they had put a high exhaust on this thing, a CT70 exhaust, and what I was afraid of did happen. They got the exhaust too daggone close to that case. That's a shame right there, because that case actually was not in bad shape, but they've melted that case. But oh well, at least we have the case. So okay, so that makes me feel good that we've got compression. I just noticed something else. The good old welded on Kickstarter. So that makes you a little leery of what else you're going to find when they weld on a Kickstarter. So, okay, I got to figure out what kind of damage we've got here. We've got some bare wires coming up out of the stator. Yeah, let me shut you down again and see if I can't cut some of this shrink wrap, the coating off the wires down, and make sure they're good and separated, clean them up a little bit, figure out which one is our ignition wire. I believe it's this one with the plug on it right here, and we'll need to plug that directly into the coil. So yeah, let me get some of that, and we'll be right back. And once I've got it ready to, you know, start going back together, then I'll let the film roll and let you guys kind of watch what I'm doing. But I thought that this disassembly process, you know, anybody can take something apart. So anyway, all right, we'll be right back. All right, so I've cleaned up, separated out, and just for right now, I just wrapped it with black electrical tape. I know it doesn't look good. I don't, you know, if I were doing it right, I'd cut it, shrink wrap it, and make it look well. But we're just trying to see if we can even get this thing to run or do something. Took the cover off, and lo and behold, no nut on the flywheel. It looks like the Woodruff key is back there, so we're gonna hope. Has that flywheel, the crank been cut? I think it has. Look, that looks like that's been cut. I wonder if they had mushroomed out the end of the crank at some point and cut that off. I wonder if they still don't have it good enough to put a nut on it, so they just said, you know what, we won't put one. Oh, well, I should have known when I found the Kickstarter that was welded on. We might run into a few of these things. So I think I'm ready to put a coil on it. I think I want to put the coil on it before I put the carburetor on it, because that carburetor will be in the way. The coil will be easier to put on without the carburetor. And how's that have to bolt here? I got to figure out how. I didn't pay attention how I took it off the other bike. That ought to work that way. Yeah, maybe it looks like that how it came off. And I believe the coil is just like a CT70, that it has to be grounded to the frame. It only has one wire on it. Typically a coil, it's got one wire. That means that it picks up its ground from the frame. Yeah, get on there, Mike. I should have taken this clutch cable out of the way too. It's toast. Get this other bolt started. Well, I wonder if I get my speed wrench thing up in there. I don't know if it'll fit or not. Let's try it. That seems pretty tight. Okay, like I said, the coil has one wire right here. I had a jumper wire somewhere. What'd I do with it, guys? Oh, there it is. I laid it right here on the engine. So we're going to run now. I'm not as familiar with SL70s. I hope they have a similar ignition system as a CT70, that you can just run a wire straight from the stator to the coil and get it to fire. Okay, let's try that. And I did not grab a spark plug. Hang on just 1 second. We will start with a brand new plug. Now, I haven't touched the points. I realize I haven't done anything. We're just going to see what we got. Oh, we got fire. Heck yeah. We don't have to do anything. We have fire, fellas. All right, let's see if I get a socket and put that in there. Ratchet, ratchet, ratchet. There it is. I hope you guys are in camera. I didn't check. All right, so I got a plug in it. I gotta figure out how to get this plug wire down there. Yeah. Yeah, we had fire. That plug worked. Or plug wire worked because we had fire to the plug. Fire in the hole. She's already been on fire once. Oh, we got a clutch slipping. Oh! Fire in the hole, boys. Fire in the hole. All right, so let me get a carburetor put on it, and with the throttle, so that we're a little bit more controlled and don't burn the thing to the ground again. I'll be right back. It was really nice having the second SL70. I robbed the handlebars off of it and was able to hook up a throttle. I've just got the handlebars sitting loose up here, but the throttle is actually snaps back and works the way it probably should. Let's hook some fuel to this carburetor. I hadn't taken it apart. I didn't look, I bolted it on there. It'll probably leak like crazy. I did check the float was free and it shut off when I turned the carburetor over. That even looks like the original throttle cable that was still on that other SL70. Okay, no idea if hopefully fuel has gotten in there. Let's see if we can crack the bowl open on the other side. See if we get anything. Yeah, it doesn't want to come open. We're not gonna fight it. All right, good enough. Yeah, I'm seeing some fuel leak around here now, so let's give it a little hoot. See what happens. Oh, we got a putt-putt. Did you hear that? I'm a little concerned about that clutch. Oh, you know what? I wonder if the clutch cable has got it pulled up. You know what? It might have. Well, come on, baby. Well, obviously the carb needs to be cleaned. kind of spitting and sputtering a little bit. Now you're gonna leak gas, huh? Okay. Gosh, we gotta take it for a ride, right? Don't we? See if it's gonna work. Got a clutch, got the cover coming off over here. All right, let me dig through the parts, see if I can find a clutch cable. I gotta unbolt the handlebars and put this other set of handlebars on there. I gotta find a clutch cable and rig up an exhaust. And then we'll see if the transmission's any good and see if we can take it for a spin. So, all right, I'll bring you back in just a second. I'm gonna look around the shop and see if I can assemble some parts. All right, so I have bolted on the high exhaust, the CT70 looking exhaust that was on the bike. I bolted that back on it. I put a clutch cable on it. Still need to figure out what I'm going to do about a seat and a tank. But I did check the oil, and I added some oil to it. That carburetor really needs to be taken off and cleaned. Oh, I idled it down too far. Alright, so I need to find a tank. We'll see if maybe the tank on that red one, or pull a tank from one of these. Maybe that one right there. Let me find a tank that I think is suitable, will hold gas, and we'll get that put on there. Well, I think we're about ready to take it for a spin. So, got a tank on it. Got the seat, that's the original seat, mounted back on it. I guess it's time to see if the transmission actually works. Let's pull you guys back here out of the way. Don't die. Well, it looks like I need to air up some tires. So, this back tire is so big and so bulky, so knobby, that it's rubbing the brake arm, that keeps the brake rotor, from spinning. Actually, you need to probably add a few links of chain. They've got the tire pushed all the way forward on the axle as far as it'll go. They've got too short a chain. If you added 2 or 3 links of chain and could scoot the tire back, I think you might clear that rubbing. But let's put some air in the tires, and then we'll take it outside and see if it'll actually move. It did go into low. Hopefully the rest of the gears are good. Well, we have to back up and punt. I put air in the tires, and by airing up this back tire, it is so tight. It binds up down in here, and on this brake retaining rod, the wheel won't even turn with air. So we are going to have to break the chain. And as you can see, the axle is all the way forward. And we're going to have to break the chain, add a few links to the chain so that we can scoot this back and hopefully create some room between this big old knobby tire and the swing arm. All right, so I got a box over here, a bunch of miscellaneous chain pieces and parts, and so I found a couple different short sections. I've got another master link. I'm not exactly sure how long a piece I'm going to need. I'm trying to get the master link apart that's on the chain now. Did that break? I almost wonder if the tip of the master link broke off. Huh, it did. We broke the tip of that master link off. So we're gonna have to find another master link in a second. All right, let's go with the one that we've got. Let's just try. We need to scoot this thing. Oh, I didn't take the brake loose. But we need to scoot this back quite a ways. You know what? I wasn't quite prepared. I've got to loosen up the brake tension adjustment, and I don't have the tools. Let me get that loosened up. What I'm talking about is here. I need to loosen this up to allow the whole thing to be able to rotate to let the tire come back. Well, I only had room for just one single link to put, I threw it back in the box. To put the shortest piece I had on there, it would have required a half link, and I don't have a half link to do that. So I put one extra link in there. I'm sure it's probably not good to have 2 master links side by side, but hey, this is, we're just rednecking it and gonna see if we can ride this bike. But I'm hopefully, it still may rub some. I'm not sure what we're hitting. Oh yeah, it's just the tire's kicked off sideways. So anyway, let me get this tightened back down, see if I can get it to spin enough that we can give it a ride. Take 2 on seeing if we can take it for a ride. I think it'll roll enough now to at least be able to ride it. Sorry, I'm gonna shake you here for a second. Get you set up out here. do it in here first, and then we'll take it outside maybe. Oh, that ain't good. I just now noticed that I hadn't sat on the bike yet. I'm thinking they downed it pretty hard. Look how pushed off that headlight is. You know, and if you remember right, the original handlebars were bent. I think someone crashed her hard and something happened, spilled gas on that hot exhaust or something, and it all caught flame up in here. And so, all right, I'm gonna shut you off, and I'm gonna set you up outside. All right, let's give this thing a whirl. All the gears seem to work. All right, let's go inside and talk about this beast. Guys, gals, thanks for watching today and following along. I had a lot of fun seeing if we could bring this old bike back to life after having gone through the fire that it did. Seems to run pretty decent. I would think it needs a carburetor clean bad. Obviously, we just yanked that carburetor off of the parts bike and didn't clean it, didn't do anything to it, just put it on there, and it actually didn't run too bad. If you are interested in this bike and want to buy it, I will sell this SL70K1 for $1,500. Now, you do not get that red tank that is on the bike right now. You will get the tank that came on it, the side covers, and these other parts that I'll probably go ahead and put this stuff back on the bike so that it doesn't get misplaced. But these are the parts that I took off the bike, and I will put those back on the bike. The tank looks solid. It does have some crap in it that you're going to have to clean out, but it doesn't, you know, I think it will clean up well, and I think the outside might even clean up well too. It's got one little dent right there. So for $1,500, this bike can be yours. Like I said, and I'll leave everything on it right now except for the tank. Those bars that I put on it, I'll leave on there. The carburetor that's on it, the clutch cable that I put on it will stay on it. The only thing I'll take off of it, as you see it sitting right here, would be that red tank and put it back on my SL70. Now, for $300 more, if you're interested, or a total of $1,800, I'll throw in this SL70K0 that we robbed a few parts off of, and all the parts that we took off the other set of handlebars. Here is the engine and a few other random parts that look like it came off of this K0. It's got a chain guard, and that's the engine disassembled in there. A partial piece of a down tube exhaust, but I don't have the rest of it. No lights on this bike at all, no tail light on the other one. So anyway, I don't know if anybody's interested in these, but if you are, hit me with a comment, and then we will hook up through email and get you taken care of if you're interested in one or both at the same time. Probably won't sell this one separately because I'll save it for a project, for a video down the road, but I would let it go if someone wanted to package deal and get them both. So again, guys, thanks for following along. Appreciate it, and we will see you in a few days later on in the week when I start another CT70 build. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. If you like the video, give me a comment, give me a like, subscribe, do all those things. Appreciate it. See ya.